Hello, my absolutely beautiful Scorpio friends, and welcome to your horoscope for August of 2023. We're Scorpio this month. We've got a lot on the table. First of all, we've got 3 moons happening this month instead of 2, and that is always an indicator that a change of direction is definitely on the table. So we'll have 2 full moons and a new moon in between there. We've also got Venus traveling in retrograde. Mercury and Uranus are going to join Venus as well. And we've got Mars entering into the energy of Libra. So one of your ruling planets coming into a new sign is also a further indicator that there seems to be this month something you're traveling back to and bringing an end to as well that has probably been pretty significant in your life for some time. There's also opportunity for you to end something in order to make space to begin something else, especially around business this month. So let's jump in, Scorpio. Let's talk about what's going on. Right at the beginning of the month on the 1st, we have got a beautiful full moon happening at 9 degrees of Aquarius. Now this lights up your 4th house space, home, family, real estate, property, your roots. This particular moon is also square to Jupiter, so there is an expansive energy here or a big realization that is coming. And I also do think that this moon is an indicator of some kind of travel that may be coming up. And it may be that you're like, I don't really want to go on this trip, or I don't love that I have to do this. But as you're going back, the pure wisdom of going back to or traveling to or reviewing or seeing where you're going to with your home and your family is actually going to be really, really enlightening for you, okay? Now, other things that are really common when we have a full moon in the 4th house is if you needed to move. This is a time to be able to do that. You can find that new property, or maybe a parent is moving in with you, you're moving in with a parent, one of your children is coming back, right? Whatever it looks like, the adjustment to this particular energy will be at this particular time or in this next 4 weeks. On the 3rd, we're going to see Mercury step into its pre-retrograde shadow time at 8 degrees of Virgo. Now we're going to watch the full retrograde cycle go from 8 degrees to 21 degrees of Virgo energy, or 21 to 8, I should say. And the entire cycle is going to be moving and in place until September 30th. But right here on the 3rd, just start to take note of what's going on for you around your friends, around your social groupings. You know, are you planning a trip and you're going on a vacation, you're going back home to see your family, your friends, you're taking your kids to college, it's a vacation, whatever, and you're talking a lot with people on social media about, hey, I'm coming back, you know, I can't wait to see you. What's the conversation that's happening? But also in a really profound way, I think that it is important that you let this Mercury retrograde really give you not only the reunion with friends and people and organizations from the past, but also some real questioning about where you are connecting, like who is in your tribe, whose tribe are you in, right? And maybe you don't need to make any really big decisions about big changes that need to happen, or maybe you don't have to make big decisions about changing that organization, but absolutely the way that you are considering and rethinking the opinions and the ideas that you had about friends and connections, this is going to be a significant time to do that. On the 16th, we've got this new moon happening at 23 degrees of Leo. And remember, Venus is over here retrograding with this beautiful new moon energy that's happening as well. And this is lighting up your 10th house space. So this is an opportunity to plant your seeds of intention, Scorpio, to begin something new in business. Take your career forward. Have that launch off to move you forward. Have new opportunities. I also think that because Venus is here, that really truly, if you had something in business that it worked for a very long time and now it's not working, and you figure out, like, I can sell this, I can get rid of it, and you can make a really good profit by releasing it or by letting it go in some way, this new moon will be in support of that, because Uranus is also connected to this moon. So it's kind of like a surprise, like I've been holding on to this for a very long time. it's not got value anymore. It's not making money. It's not bringing better relationships into my life. It's time for me to have a break. Uranus will get you off the fence and making a decision. It may bring the opportunity to sell or invest in something that can be valuable to you right to your table. Other things to think about with this Leo energy in the 10th is that it's not just business. It's not just business and career, but it's also the title that we call you in public. For some of you, you may be becoming a husband, a wife, a mother, taking a new title, the community service leader. What is your new title that you will take in public? And when you take it, you have to take it like a Leo. Right? You take it with pride. You take it saying it with your chest out, with big energy. There's a warm generosity and a playfulness that comes to the title that you're taking on. I cannot get out of my mind, Scorpio, that some of you really, are you traveling? What are you doing that is connected to the family as well, that you're traveling and you're going back to it and you're really having to hold your own space as the person that you are today, maybe not the person that you were before, and it gives an opportunity to begin or have old relationships have new beginnings, okay? When we get to the 23rd, we see the sun enter the energy of Virgo, and Mercury is also going to go retrograde in the energy of Virgo. And at this time, Mars, one of your ruling planets, is also in Virgo. So it's a very busy, loaded 11th house area for you, which means it is going to be active, to be taking actions on, thinking about, having desires about what you want to do. And everything from the retrograde that you're looking back on and reviewing, rethinking, re-editing, reconnecting, all of these things where you're getting a new perspective with Mercury retrograde are being done in a Virgo way to make them the very best that they can be in a detailed and practical manner, and in a way that is of service, organized, and has discernment. So this is a great time. Review your tribe. Are you in alignment with a tribe that you can rock and roll with, right? If you're not, or if you've had resentment or tension or ideas about, oh, I don't want to go back to that place, or oh, this group of people, or this set of ideas, you're being handed an opportunity to get a new perspective, a new pair of glasses, right, per se, on that particular group, that tribe, and those kinds of things. On the 27th, the ruling planet Mars moves into the energy of Libra, into the 12th house. Now, this for me is the indicator that you're bringing something to culmination, like you're taking action to bring something to an end, okay? And Mars may have you in Libra finishing a few things, because Mars itself likes to point directly at one thing and do it and get it done and just go there. But Libra is a double energy. So Mars is thus in position to be doing more than one thing at once. So I think that it's a really good position for Mars to be in if you needed to take action on a negotiation or something like that. And yes, Mercury is retrograde at this time, but whatever you're trying to end or to take action to be done with or to move forward is likely something that has been in your space already for some time. Remember, the ruling planet of Libra is retrograde at this time in your 10th house space. So, you could be retiring. What is it for you? But you're bringing it to an end, and you're able to do so in a pretty peaceful way, I think, with this Mars in Libra energy. On the 28th, Uranus turning retrograde at 23 degrees of Taurus, moving back all the way to 19 degrees of Taurus, and this is in your relationship house. So Uranus here in the relationship house has been freeing you from things for a little bit now. But where I'd like you to focus in your cycle here is to go back to May 12th of this year, 2023, looking at what was going on in your relationships, because you've been trying to get an air of freedom in your relationships in some way. You've been going, hold on, something, an action, an idea, the way I think about a relationship, the way I move, what I valued in relationship, financial things in relationships or finances in my life have been holding me back, and I've got to get a freedom around that, right? I have to find a different way to interact and to move in this world. Now, it's really interesting because while Uranus is going to take this retrograde all the way until January, It's less about rebel, break it down, that side of the Uranian energy. And it is much more about where is your own personal shift that challenges you to change direction with what you've believed and how you've been showing up. It's your own, not rebellion, like, F those people, they're not doing it my way, or forget this relationship. It's actually your revolution. It's your own personal revolution that says, you know what, I'm allowed to be free. Now, the other thing I do think of with Uranus energy is that to remember that Uranus is an outer planet. So it's not just personally built about you doing your own authentic thing, but it's also things in the world, right? There are things in the world that you could not access, you could not participate in yet. The world was not ready for you, Scorpio. And now the world has been getting ready for you. So you have to review how you're going to go out and fit in that world and interact. And this is a really wonderful retrograde to be looking at that. As we close out the month on the 30th, we are going to see our other full moon happening at 7 degrees of Pisces, lighting up your 5th house space. So again, the full moon is asking us to end something, acknowledge something, or bring an adjustment. But this particular moon is in conjunction with Saturn that is also at 7 degrees. Now, for this one, we're going to go right back to March of 2023 when Saturn moved into the energy of Pisces and began its journey from 0 degrees of Pisces all the way to 7 degrees of Pisces, okay? So what was happening for you in your 5th house when you go back to March? What was happening around your children? That's very 5th house, or childlike things coming up for you. Romance. Did a romance pop into your life? That would have been, and it could have popped out of nowhere. It's Pisces energy. It maybe even just walked in between the worlds, What was it that came up for you at that time? What about taking a risk, taking something from a hobby and making it maybe a business? Pleasure, play, enjoyment. Where did these signatures start to show up in your life? And it was like, hey, you have to stop talking about having those things in your life, Scorpio, and you got to be about them. You got to stop talking about what kind of parent, boyfriend, lover you want to be, and be about them, because Saturn came to create the container. There also was likely, it's Pisces energy, and energy around this that was kind of serious as we get to this full moon of maturity, right? Where it's like, wow, I need to make a decision. I need to have a conversation, reality and how you show up in these areas, or what is needed and required from you to be thriving in these areas really begins to present itself. Because it is fantastic to think, what, I would love to start a business because I'm really good at making candles. And to not set up a budget at all will absolutely be a reality check for you that businesses don't run like that. Only hobbies do, right? So whatever it is, at this particular full moon and in the 4 weeks that follow, I think your attention is really being brought to getting a new vision, and one that shows where you've got to pick up responsibility and obligation to really crystallize and take this thing forward so that you can stop talking about it and be about it. And even if it's just, I got to stop talking about having more joy in my life and live in a way that brings more joy in my life, which means that something has to go. I have to make a decision about what's going to go. I have to make a decision about my attitude. I have to make a decision about these things in order to get in the direction that I say that I want, and I have got to be about it. All right, my beautiful Scorpio friends, I'm curious, who's going back home to see their parents? Whose parents are moving in with them? Like, what's this family tie with the travel that I'm seeing in the chart? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you have a beautiful month. I love you a ton, and I'll see you next month. Bye, Scorpio.